Hey, what's up, guys? Coming with Bob here, and this is just a really quick um, little wrestling council short. I just got done. Well, I didn't just get done. I watched WWE's TLC 2019 last night, and just wanted to give just a really quick glimpse, a little rundown. I'm not going to get real in depth for that. You're going to have to go watch the Wrestling Council this Thursday for that. But I did want to touch on a couple of things because this show was, man. Well, let's get into it right off the bat. Talk about the goods and things and the bad things real quick. Uh, the kickoff show was it was kind of goofy and silly, but Revival showed up and they were jawing at Booker T, and they mentioned Stevie Ray, which I thought was kind of funny. But the first match was Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade. Really good match. Went a solid, close to 15 minutes, I think. Both these guys are really, really talented. But again, Andrade gets buried in. I'm kind of up in the air with this. I don't know if this is in my person, and I'm a little biased on this because in my personal opinion, I think Andrade is one of the 5 most talented people they have over there right now. Humberto Carrillo. I'm gonna butcher his name. I apologize for that. They put on a really good show here, but once again, Andrade is getting buried, and I don't understand that. I don't understand why you're gonna bury a guy with that kind of talent. But this was a good match. Definitely a very, very good, very solid match. Then we get into the main show. Another really, really good, really solid match. Kofi Kingston and Big E, the New Day versus the Revival, and again another really good match. This was, in fact, this might have been the best match of the night. All of them putting on their respective styles. Came through really cool. The Revival, obviously, they're more of an old school team. They kind of kept things a little more grounded. Kofi and Big E were doing, what they usually do, hitting those big spots. This was a really good, solid match. Next match was Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. Again, really, really good match, and I don't know if this is just because this thing has been dragged out so badly, or because the fans just don't care about the angles. But this was the beginning of a trend for the night where the crowd just was not into it. Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy put on a great match. Again, it was another close to 15-minute match, and both of them looked good. They looked strong in it, and definitely was one of the better matches of the night. But the crowd was just dead. I mean, they were dead. At one point, you could hear people. You could actually hear people saying things in the background, and I'm going to touch on that again in a minute here. Next match, and this is actually, it was after this match that things really started going downhill after this, because the next match we got was the Viking Raiders versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, aka the OC. Man, this match was just just bad. Not only that, but they had this advertising thing where there were 4 fans sitting at ringside at a table eating KFC, and a giant KFC banner on it. And the whole time everyone's thinking, oh, they're going to go through the table, they're going to get gravy and crap all over that. Didn't happen. And it ended with a double count out, and it was just this match was just bad. It was just bad from start to finish. There were some botches. I don't know why this match even existed. So then next up we got Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns. And I've made it very clear in my opinion on Corbin. I feel bad for Baron Corbin. I actually feel bad for him. He's obviously a hardworking guy, but nobody was interested in this match. Nobody was interested in it. Nobody cared. The King angle is stupid. The only person who's ever been able to pull off the King angle, in my personal opinion, was Booker T, and he did it because he was acting silly. Corbin was better. He was better as the lone wolf character, which isn't saying much. But and again, I feel bad for the guy. Like I said, I think he works hard, but this match was just bleh. No, there was no energy. I mean, it was a decent enough match. It wasn't terrible, but again, the crowd hated it. And nobody wants this. We've already had this. We've had this. We've had this stuff. And I know that McMahon is 110% convinced that Baron Corbin is over, but this is not, I want to watch him get his ass kicked heat. This is turn the channel heat. And I mean, I don't know. I just we're going to get more of it though. The way it ended, the way everything went down, this storyline is going to get shoved down our throats. And not only that, but the match went long. This was over 20 minutes. This match was well over 20 minutes, and I was just waiting for it to end. And the next match we got is very divisive because a lot of people are saying that they thought this was really good from a character standpoint. I personally thought it was boring as hell. And probably the worst angle of the night. It was the Universal Championship, Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. So The Miz cuts this promo at the beginning, and it was a pretty good promo, talking about how this isn't a normal match, that this is he's fighting for his family, because they did this whole thing where there was like a creepy home invasion angle where Bray Wyatt snuck into the Miz's house and left a creepy doll in his kid's bedroom. Miz is talking about how he's coming out there, he's a father who's going to be fighting, and he's not the Miz tonight. And then he comes, so then I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. Let's have a friggin' street fight. Let's see this, Miz comes out, and he's just doing the same thing. He does his little intro scoot. He does his little poses and everything. And he's wearing his glasses. I'm like, no, that's not how you do an angle like this. He should have come out in blue jeans and a t-shirt, just ready to beat the crap out of somebody. And he gets in the ring and he does his usual thing. And then Bray Wyatt comes out. And some people were saying that they were confused by this because they thought that it was going to be The Fiend. And it was Bray Wyatt. And I said, no, they were advertising this. It's Bray Wyatt. It's the creepy Fred Rogers version of Bray Wyatt. And he came out and the graphics were all weird and goofy. And it was just, on one hand, I kind of like, okay, I'm liking it. I'm committing. I like that he's committing to the bit, but the booking has been terrible for this angle so far. And I feel bad for Bray Wyatt because he is, in my opinion, one of the best things going for that company right now. And the booking has just been ham-fisted. So he comes out and he's walking around posing. At one point he gets up on the announcer tables and he's like posing there. He's like, hey, waving everybody. And the whole time the Miz is just standing there in the ring, staring at him like a monkey doing a math problem. I'm like, no, dude, you just said this is the biggest match of your life. You're coming out here, your father defending his faith. No, the minute you saw that guy, you should have been out there beating the crap out of him. No, it was so weird. I'm like, I'm expecting a street fight, and we got the usual Miz moves. The difference was that Bray was basically just eating it, And it didn't take very long until the crowd literally just was out of it again. And the 90% of the match was Miz just beating the crap out of him, just beat and him no selling it, like literally this was like old school Taker where he would just no sell everything. And I guess they're talking about, well, they're showing that he's taking the pain and he's laughing about it, and I'm like, this is a wrestling match, man. I want to see some wrestling. It's like finally they actually did put some offense in, and Wyatt hit the Sister Abigail. Miz got out of it, and then Wyatt hit him with another Sister Abigail a little bit later, and that's the end of the match. This whole match was basically designed just to squash Miz. And then they had an angle where the thing where the Fiend appeared on the screen, and Wyatt pulls out the hammer. And this is where I want to talk about the commentary. The commentary was so bad. The commentary of this was so bad. Michael Cole is awful. He's awful. He's trying to sell all this stuff like he's surprised, and it's like, oh my god, it's some kind of mountain. Like, yeah, dude, it's you've seen it before. And it was just, oh god. We'll talk more about it, like I said, on Thursday. But God, this was, and how do you and not only this, but they made Miz look so weak in this, especially after Daniel Bryan comes out of nowhere and starts beating the living hell out of Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt basically, the lights go out and Bray Wyatt retreats, and Miz just disappears. He's just gone. The post-match stuff for this was actually pretty good. Daniel Bryan coming out clean shaven and everything, looking like he did 8 years ago. But man, the match was just bad. It was a dud. It was a real dud. So then we get the Bobby Lashley Rusev match. And again, this was a pretty decent size match in terms of length. The match went on for a while. It was close to 15 minutes. It was just boring. And it was boring. The crowd was just, they were dead. There's no energy in it. And this is, and that's actually something I've been talking to people about, because a lot of these matches, man, and I don't know if it's because of AEW. I don't know if it's because issues in the locker room and everything with creatives, with talent not being happy, and them looking over and seeing greener pastures, and then looking over at AEW and seeing everyone in AEW is happy and they're having fun. It doesn't seem like anybody, with very few exceptions, it doesn't seem like anybody in WWE is having any fun. NXT, NXT is fantastic. But up in the main roster, it just feels like there's no energy. Everything just feels blah. And that's what this pay-per-view felt like to me. It just blah. We had a couple of really good matches to start it off with, and then it just drove off a cliff. And I don't want to sound like a WWE hater. I actually love the WWE. I want it to be better. And this is not it. Anyway, Lashley wins the match because Lana jumps on Rusev's back, and so we're going to get more of this crap. Again, the crowd was absolutely dead. To the point where, like I said, you could hear people talking at certain points. I'm sure that with later broadcasts that they'll alter the audio so that that's not the way it appears. But that's the way it was. And then there was a big brawl that broke out in the back between Corbin and Reigns. Okay, I get that one. But like the New Day and Chad Gable and Buddy Murphy and Dolph Ziggler and the Revival and the Street, but everybody's just basically fighting everybody. And it's like, why? What the hell's going on? Then we come to the main event of the night. The main event of the night, and this was some serious crap. Kairi Sane got hurt early in this match. This match went long. This match went close to 30 minutes. And for about 20 for about 20 of it, Kairi Sane apparently was working with a concussion because she got clocked in the head. At one point, Charlotte and Becky were over at the Spanish announcers table, and they're throwing the monitors off. And one of the monitors, the one that I believe the one that I'm trying to remember, the one that Charlotte threw. It might be I can't remember, but one of it caught Kairi right in the back of the head, just bam, and you could hear her scream. And then for the rest of the match, man, she was just glazed over. She was out of it. It was very clear that they were worried about her because they kept. You could see moments where Becky was like whispering to her, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Asuka was absolutely, completely dropped character because they're supposed to be the heels. She dropped character. She's checking her, making sure she's okay. And the refs, but the match just kept going. And here's the thing, but if some people are trying to say that it was a work. If it's a work, it's the best damn acting I've ever seen. It's the best acting I've seen all year. She deserves the Oscar. The refs should have stopped. This match should have been called right there. I know a lot of people say, but it's the main event. You got to put the show on. No, I don't care. I don't care if someone says that they're okay to go. If they are obviously hurt, and she was obviously hurt to the point where she couldn't even do moves right because she was just so. You call that match because. This is how people die. This is how you get somebody killed. And the fact that the refs, who are supposed to be the ones watching for this stuff, and they're kind of like the link to the back, to the production, to the people running the show. The fact that they didn't wave this thing off and like, no, get the doctor out here. We got a problem. I give Kairi Sane all the credit in the world. She fought through this. She did her best. The match was awful after this because it was obviously clear that she was hurt. Everybody in the crowd was terrified for her. And eventually Asuka did win. Asuka had to take over the bumps and stuff for Kairi through it, because you could literally, all the kayfabe just dropped. You could see everybody talking to everybody. It was hard to watch Kairi taking bumps after this because she was not in control, not in full control. She was obviously serious. She's obviously hurt. And this is the kind of match that I you see, and you're just like, why are you doing this? You're putting someone. You're literally putting, at the very least, you're possibly putting someone's career on the line. But the match, and then I don't know if it was because of this, because they wanted to be like, okay, get them out of there as quickly as possible. That may be why they did this. But as soon as the match was over, instead of watching them celebrate or anything like that, we cut to the brawl, the big brawl that started in back between Reigns and Corbin and everybody else, spills out into the arena, and that's how the show ends. I think they did that on purpose because they were like, we need to get them out of the ring right now. She's obviously hurt. We need to get her looked at. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, was it kind of a crappy way to end a show? Yeah, sure it was. But in my personal opinion, this I understand. You're going to lose money. Fans are going to demand their money back because the main event got canceled or cut short or what have you. I don't care. Find a way to end that match. You don't drag the match on for another 15, 20 minutes when somebody's injured. Like I said, this is how people die. So, all in all, this was a very meh. It was just a very whatever pay-per-view. I'm hoping Kairi Sane's okay. From what it sounds like she's okay. She's getting medically checked. She's probably not going to be cleared for a while, especially if she has a severe concussion. But man, this pay-per-view was just up and down, up and down, up and down. But anyway, that's my quick take on WWE's TLC this year. We'll be talking more about it on the Wrestling Council, which is on Boogie Bentley's channel this week, the S&B Network. I'll drop a link in the description. Check it out, guys. And I'll see you guys Thursday. Take care.